Hi, this is Why Not here with Streetwear Live. I'm interviewing Karabella Velez, my Second Life sister, one of them. Karabella, how long have you been on Second Life and who or what brought you here?
Well, let's see. I started playing actively in 2009, and the reason I started playing Second Life was because I was spending tons and tons of money on books at the time because I love to read and DVDs and just I was playing adventure games which didn't have other people in them, that has the fake characters in them that you ask a set of questions and they have a preset set of questions that you ask them. So it's not really a real person. And
Yeah.
those games were like $30 per game. So I thought I needed to find something cheap and free to do. Um, and I'd just been watching Lord of the Rings series back then, and I thought, I want to be an elf. And I got in here actually to be an elf, and I never ever did it. I never was anything in Second Life but me. Um, but that's kind of how I got in here. I was reading a magazine at Barnes and Noble bookstore, and they had an ad about Second Life, and that's when I logged in for the first time.
Cool. Well, can you share one of your most memorable moments as a newbie on Second Life? I know you got some.
I've got a million of these. Of course, we
Mhm.
all do. Let's see, most memorable moments. I'm gonna have to say it's when I met my brother DJ. Um, and we're gonna talk about brand newbie. Um, I met him at a nightclub, and he was sitting down at the bar, and I went up and I sat down next to him. He's probably one of the first people I ever talked to in Second Life, and I said hello. He didn't say anything back. I think he's here right now. I'm not sure. But
He is.
is he? He just walked in the door, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh my gosh, so he can hear me. Yeah, he was sitting at the bar and I sat down and I said hello. And I don't know if he was AFK or not, but he didn't say hi for the longest time. And so I got up to walk away and he said, "Oh, hey, Carabella." He said, "I'm sorry." He said hello. And he was my first brother in Second Life. So I guess, meeting a first family member, which I thought that was original because I asked him to, become my brother. I thought I was the only person that ever had that thought or idea in Second Life, but of course I wasn't. Everybody else has a ton of family in here. But
I
that
know,
was,
it's incestuous, really. You're my sister, he's my brother too. And who is our daddy? Oh,
I, I
the
have no
milkman.
clue. I have no clue. I've got like two dads and two moms now. Maybe three
Yeah.
dads and three moms. I'm not sure.
Well, it makes up for real life, doesn't it? You know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it does. And like with me, both my parents in real life are deceased. So it's
Uh-huh.
good to have family in, Second Life because it kind of, you know, it's like having extra family around, support
Well,
system.
can you elaborate a little bit more on your family? Some people just form not just groups of friends, but also family. You have other family on Second Life, including me and DJ. Who else did you meet, and who's part of our family in Second Life? I might not even know some of
You don't. In fact,
them.
you've got more brothers and sisters than you know you have. Uh, let's see. Well, Abby, of course, is my sister. You're my
And how did you meet
sister.
Abby? How did you meet Abby?
I think it was when I first met DJ. He felt sorry for me because I was a homeless avatar. You know how when you get into Second Life and you don't, I didn't even realize you could get a house in here. I would just log in and out. I used to log in at this store that nobody ever went into. It was a TV store, and it was at yeah, it was at oh,
Just-
I cannot remember the name of the sim. Dang it, I should have written that down. But anyway, um, it was a TV store, and that they had an upstairs, and nothing was upstairs, and I would go upstairs and go in there and change clothes, and then I started going to this other little store where DJ, sorry about that, where DJ used to work. That was my boyfriend coughing. You might have to edit that part out. But anyway, uh, the DJ used to work there, and I'd go in there, and that was kind of like my house. And how I met Abby was he felt sorry for me, and he said, "Well, I'm going to ask my sister if you can move in over there." So that's kind of how I met Abby. First time I met her, we went on a magic carpet ride.
Oh, cool. I think I
Yeah,
have a magic carpet in my inventory. I'm gonna have to look. Well, you know what? That's very funny that you met her the same way. Well, actually, I didn't meet. I met him through her, but you met her through him. It's kind of
right.
backwards. Yeah. Well, can you share one of your most embarrassing moments that you've had in Second Life?
Do we have 10 hours to sit here and talk about this?
No, just pick one, please. I know how you will go on.
uh, let's see. One time, let's see. I'm going to give you, let's see. Okay, one time I was, and I know you're going to ask me this question in the, pretty soon, but I'm a cheerleader in Second Life. Well, one time the football players didn't have enough football players to practice one day, and they asked the cheerleaders to come in and help, just help them practice. Well, I was playing. I'd never played before, and I was trying to figure out how to run and walk and chew gum at the same time and catch a football and tackle and the whole thing and use all my arrow keys. Well, one of the guys kicked the football straight to me, and I got so excited I caught the football. But what I did was I accidentally spun around and I got all backwards and I ran and I made a touchdown for the opposite team.
I've done it in
I'll,
real life.
and I'll tell you
Oh
another.
God.
I'll tell you another one too. Um, really quick. I was cheerleading one time, and I was taking pictures. You know how you take pictures when you're in Second Life and stuff like that. Well,
Now that I have a better laptop, I can, but I used to freeze up when I did it. Yeah, yeah.
oh yeah, well you can do that too. I did that the other night, but one time I was trying to take pictures of the football game, and I had zoomed up to the commentator booth, and there's a setting in here where you can double click to teleport.
Oh God.
And I didn't realize I had that on. I was trying to take a picture and I accidentally ended up in the booth, and they were actually in voice, commentating the games just like they do in real life. And I ended up in the booth and they're like, "Well, hey Bella, good to see you up here." And I'm like, "Oh my God." All my cheerleaders were like, "Where are you, Bella?" I'm like, "I accidentally TP'd. Please TP me back." And I've also fallen off the stage. There's all kinds of stuff. But anyway, there's a couple of things.
Oh, that's hilarious. I know how that is because I did that at a modeling show once and ended up over the runway while the models were running down the runway. That's embarrassing as hell. What did you, I mean, did people scream at you or did you just like everybody just like pretend to ignore you like they did me?
Oh no, they said it in local chat. They said,
Oh God.
I mean, not local chat, in voice. They
Oh
said, "Hey, Bella, nice to see you up here." And I was like, "Oh my God."
Oh
But yeah,
God.
yeah, so everybody knew that I messed up, but
Well, I
who
guess,
doesn't?
using the voice like that in local chat probably like covered up the thing and made it more, probably less embarrassing for you. Nobody said shit to me. I think if somebody said, "Oh, the poor girl up there," or um, I don't know. I just think that you were lucky that they were so covering up whatever you did. Nobody covered up what I did, and I don't know who saw me. At least you know they saw you. I don't know who saw me. Everybody knew it. Well, I know you're in Girls and Fellas Dance Group. How'd you come to join this group, and what makes them stand out against other dance groups that you've come across in Second Life? Or why did you choose that dance group to join?
Well, the It Girls and Fellas, I didn't even know pretty much at that time that there were dance groups. I mean, or maybe I just found out that there were a few in here. And my best friend Mishi, um, she had gotten invited to join the team, and she invited me to go watch the practice. It was her very first practice, and I got there, and Wendy or Winsong Charming is the owner of the It Girls and Fellas, and she said if anybody wants to get up on stage and dance with us, just hop on up here. And so I hopped on up there, and I've been dancing with them ever since. And I think the one thing, if I'm going to say, I've been to see a lot of dance groups, and there's so many wonderful dance groups in here. In fact, you're on a very awesome dance group. There's so many wonderful dance groups in here. The reason why I love the It Girls and Fellas is because it's just like a huge family. We all get along just wonderfully. It's a huge group. I think at one point we were up to 40 people.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really, and it's girls and guys, of course. So it's not just all girls. So, but we just have a lot of fun, and we laugh a lot, and it's just an awesome group. I would recommend, if anybody wants to join, let me know.
Well, I hope you have the prim for them. 30,
Oh, yeah.
40 people. That's a lot. We have 20 some, I think. That is a mammoth amount to get together. I came to one of your dance things and it was spectacular. I really enjoyed it very much. So, if people want to come and see what you do, how can they do that?
Oh, just hit me up in the IM, Karabella Veliz. Let's see. And also we have on YouTube, we have a ton of videos in there. Probably, I don't know how many videos by now. I mean, gosh, we probably have 30, 40 videos in there of the group and our shows and stuff. Some of our shows are really short, and then some of them we make a whole hour-long show. So it
And
just
that's a
depends.
mammoth. That's mammoth to do a show an hour long too, with a group especially that big. Well, when you're on, you're usually busy. You're either getting ready to cheerlead or you're in the UFL cheerleaders group too, right?
Yes, that's the United Football League, and that's um, like I said, that's a huge group of people, anywhere from 400 to 600 at a time, I'm just going to guess.
Oh my
Um,
God.
we've got the owners, which we will have here to interview. We'll have all these people on here eventually. Um, but there's the owners, there's the referees, there's the commentators, there's the co-ops group, which is run by a really good friend of mine, Tegan. Uh, there's advertisers that work for this group. There's all the cheerleaders, all the football players. There's at least 12 to 15 teams at a time. But the UFL is a lot of fun too. It's a
Well,
lot
how
of
many
fun too.
people are actually cheerleading for them?
Well, there's 15 cheerleaders per team, and I think this year there's either 12 or 15 teams. It might be
Wow.
12 teams this year. Last year, I think it was 15.
Well, how often do they meet and how often do you have to cheer for games?
Let's see. Well, cheerleading practice is usually about 2 times a week for about 30 to 45 minutes each day, for the 2 days. And then
Uh-huh.
football players, now they practice all the time. they will practice for at least 4, maybe 5 days a week, because playing football is not easy like you would think it is. It's not just running forward and backward. You've got to use all the WASD keys and the arrows forwards and backwards and sideways, and you got to press certain keys to tackle somebody. And so you kind of have to be a gamer to play football,
Right. Yeah, I'm
you know.
sure like Lisa, our friend that does the roller derby probably has to do a lot of that stuff too. Um, but I see in your profile you were a UFL lingerie bowl. What is that? What's
That is basically, you've heard of powder puff football, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Okay, what we do every year at the end of the football season is we put together a powder puff football game where the cheerleaders will actually play football, and we have the football players and we dress them up in
Cheerleader.
skirts and stuff, and they play.
Ah. Oh
And
God.
yeah, and it's just, football is not so easy as you think it would be, because for me, I have trouble camming when I'm playing and pressing all those keys. My camera gets thrown off. And the
Oh yeah.
very first year I had to do the lingerie bowl, I actually put on white hair, which I've never worn before in Second Life, so I could find myself on the field. So I knew which person I was, because everybody's got black hair or blonde hair, or red
Yeah.
hair.
Oh, it makes sense. That's kind of smart. I might think about that if I ever get into cheerleading or roller derby or any of that. Well, I'm gonna get a little intimate with you now.
Okay.
You've partnered here on Second Life. What made you decide to partner here in Second Life, and how did that come about?
Well, here I am. I sound like I'm a big clubber when I say this, because I met DJ at a nightclub, and that's how I met my boyfriend. He's my Second Life boyfriend, or my Second Life husband, and my real life boyfriend.
Wow.
But we met at a nightclub called Midnight Reflections, which just recently opened back up. We just had a party there, and it was like a blast from the past, because I got to see a ton of people that I haven't seen in like 6 years or 5 years at least.
Wow.
And that was on Halloween night. But anyway, he was actually talking to another girl named Bella, and he said, "Hello, Bella," in local chat, and I typed in "hello," because I thought he was talking to me, and he was talking to some other girl.
Aw.
And he perfed my profile, and I had my real life picture in it, and he IM'd me and said that I had a beautiful smile, and we just kind of started talking after that. I play very hard to get, because you know that's just the way I am. And but he hung out with me for, probably about 6 months, and then we decided that we wanted to meet. I guess it was about a year later, and we got together in real life.
Oh, how cool. That is cool. A lot of people here do meet in Second Life and then meet in real life. And some are very successful and some are not so successful, but it's really cool when it works out. Now, I know you're really busy with all the groups that you've joined, but do you find time too to explore new places and do new things? And if so, could you share with us one of your favorite Sims that you visit in Second Life and why you like it?
Um, yeah, there's so many places that I love in Second Life. I mean, I used to I used to explore a lot more than I do now, because now I've become so busy with dance and cheer, and of course, you know, doing this show and some fun things with, all those different activities. I love to come see your shows at Lauren's Place. Those are completely awesome. That's comedy, because I didn't even know there was comedy in Second Life. There used to be a really cool sim that I went to. I don't even know if it's open anymore. It was called Alice in Wonderland, and it was an amusement park. But I haven't been there in years. Um, but there's a lot of really neat things to do in here, and when I do get a chance to go places, I do. Um, in fact, I may have to get you guys to take me out a little bit more because I think I need to do a little bit more recreation with visiting Sims. I'll think of some more later on.
Well, I did tell you I'm taking you to the Railway Consortium. Now, that's someplace that every new person and every old person who never has been there needs to go because I spent 3 solid days and could spend probably my entire Second Life and my real life riding those rails, stopping at towns, and exploring. They give you a free train, and you said you'd go with me, so I'm going to hold you to it.
That sounds great to me. And I have a ton of very awesome stores that I love to go to too, as well as for shopping. Like I love Bax boots. I think I wore Bax for the first 4 years I was in here. Yes, and I am spamming. And but I was allowed to spam. I was told I can spam, so
They ought to be paying you for this now, all I can tell you.
well, I'm going to have Bax on the show. I know
There you
Bax.
go. Oh,
Yeah, I know
cool.
Bax, and there's a couple of really awesome stores in here that I'm going to pull those girls in here. Some of them have won, let's see,
Some
the
of the
Abby Choice
awards.
Awards. Yeah, Abby
Yeah.
Choice Awards and
Oh,
things like that. So yeah, they'll be fun to have on the show.
excellent. Well, listen, sis, I'm just really happy to have had this opportunity to let you share some of your Second Life experiences. And love you and thank you very much for being on the show.
Oh, thanks, sis, for having me. I had a blast. This has been awesome. You guys have a great night.
Yep. Good night, all.
Night, night.
Streetwear Live was brought to you by Hooligan's Roadside Diner, home of Ingest Comedy, featuring the stand-up comedy of Why Not, Sea Photographer, Doc Run, Roger 990, Catboy, Timmery, and others. Join them every Saturday night at 5 p.m. Second Lifetime. Also Studio A by Belladonna Couture, upbeat fashion with a flair. And Salty Sea Dog Blues and Games Club. Vote, bowl, play a game of greedy, or watch your favorite movie with friends. Please contact DJ Ximenez, Aurora Adele, or Nick Mammoth with your special events or if you'd like to be featured on Streetwear Live.